Discernment is one of those ongoing questions, especially for those who are in the young adult Catholic community. What is it that I'm being called to do with my life? And discernment, as it turns out, doesn't end when we enter the Franciscans. Obviously, I had to do my own discernment in order to see, hey, am I even being called to join this community in the first place? But then there's also the question of, am I being called to stay within the community? And if so, what is it that I'm being asked to do within the community? Particularly for us as Franciscans, we have this unique element of our charism, which allows us to be priests or brothers within the community. And both of those vocations have their own flavor, their own nuance, and their own gift to the church. And that was actually something I really grappled with once I found the community was, all right, I'm here and I'm feeling like this is a good fit for me, but what is it that I'm being called to do within this community? What is my call within a call, if you will? And I actually asked for an extra year of discernment within my formation to really focus in and hone that call. And what I discovered in that time is that the brotherhood and the priesthood vocations have a very different approach. One person put it to me so well. They said, just look at what the priest and the brother does at Mass. The priest brings Christ to the people in the form of the sacrament, whereas the brother, sitting with the people, walks with them, brings them to Christ. And to me, both of those calls were so attractive, as well they should be. They're beautiful vocations. And I really grappled with that. Which one am I being called to? And ultimately, the call came through pretty strongly, actually through working in hospital chaplaincy. I was in a hospital setting, working with those brought in with gunshot wounds all the way to people who were dying of cancer and ministering with their families. And one of the things that I discovered in that hospital setting was just how different and complementary the brotherhood and priesthood vocations actually are. The priesthood vocation obviously would center around providing that sacramental healing, not only bringing communion to the sick, but especially bringing the sacrament of anointing and offering that consolation and that healing in a sacramental fashion. Whereas the brotherhood vocation tends to focus more on the journey with, on attending to the very human needs of those who find themselves in difficult situations. And while I really did love being present to people and walking in their journey with them, and I hope that I do that in my priesthood as well, I hope that there's kind of a brotherly characteristic to my priesthood. What I discovered was that there was a deep yearning, almost an involuntary one, that kind of erupted from within me to minister to the sick, to the dying in a sacramental fashion, to be able to hear their confessions, to be able to administer the anointings. And as I reflected on that and prayed with it, because ultimately the call doesn't come from me, it comes from God. As I sat with that, prayed with that, I came to recognize more and more that it was Jesus himself who was asking me, beckoning me, Thomas, will you be a priest? And it took some time for me to be able to acknowledge that call and then to say, yes, I will do that. The neat thing, though, like I said, there should be a brotherly characteristic to my priesthood precisely because I am a Franciscan. I won't just be a generic priest. I will bring that Franciscan charism with me, that love of the poor, love of the Blessed Virgin, attentiveness to those who are on the margins, and hopefully also a very human spirit, down to earth, so to speak, to really allow people to feel like Christ is present with them in a very close and intimate way. That was the defining moment for me.